Hello, I'm the Russian Badger, and this video is displaying an attacking rush game on Port Valdez. And although I do the majority of my murdering in this match with the assault class, I do begin with the recon kit to start the match. And I primarily start my maneuver towards the two objectives by following this long stretch of pipeline along the right side. This vantage point from which I rain death and tear down from is extremely effective for two very pertinent reasons. Number one, it provides a great point of view not only for suppressing enemy targets but also the objective labeled B. The secondary feature of this particular spot is the ability to call in mortar strikes on the objective labeled as A. The combination of the great viewpoint of objective B for taking out enemies attempting to disarm charges previously set by my teammates, along with the ability to call in mortar fire on the destructible building containing objective A, makes this spot lethal. And by no means is this the only spot that I utilize on Port Valdez, and allow me to emphasize that once you are identified and picked out by the enemy team, parachute down immediately because you are lunch meat if you remain in the spot for too long. And it is also critical to keep in mind that my primary purpose at this particular location and the particular role in my squad was to spot every enemy that I saw, and the spotter scope attachment on my M24 greatly aids me in doing so, because with this method I don't have to break my left thumb spotting with the select button on my PS3 controller. I am by no means communicating this is the only strategy that I utilize on Port Valdez. I am merely trying to communicate its effectiveness. Now, on Port Valdez and all maps in bad company, it is critical that you adapt to the tactics of the enemy. It's also imperative that you adapt quickly to the enemy defenses, because your tickets in the assaulting team can slip away quite quickly. And on the topic of adapting your tactics, this is a prime example here. I enter the building containing A, kill an enemy, arm the objective, and I'm killed after I knife incorrectly. I now realize there are several enemies inside the building of objective A, and proceed to fire in 40mm grenades and frags in order to flush them out. Once this proved to be ineffective, I decided to flank over to the left side and break the building down with 40mm grenades instead. Although it's not as pretty as arming an MCOM and defending it until it explodes, it gets the job done and the objective destroyed. Just keep in mind that the tactics that you employ don't have to be flashy and wonderful in bad company too. They can be scrappy and unorthodox, and if they get the job done and the objective destroyed, that's all that truly matters. This tactic of using Destruction 2.0 or breaking buildings down to eliminate objectives is a useful tactic when assaulting the second set of objectives on the map Port Valdez. Specifically because the second set of objectives on this map are both able to be destroyed using Destruction 2.0. As I mentioned to my viewers many times before, it is critical that once you have exploded both objectives on the attacking team, it is an intelligent plan to launch a cleanse or quarantine. This consists of simply ridding your base with spawn campers. Spawn campers can easily eat away at your tickets quickly if not suppressed immediately. However, do not have your entire team running around in their own base looking for these pesky spawn campers. This will only allow more time for the defending team to creep up and even more reinforcements, and this can lead to a full-scale spawn trap. Obviously, this should be avoided at all costs. And here I make the decision to flank the left side of the map and attack objective B to begin with. This is preceded by me taking 2 full magazines to eliminate this medic, which could be viewed as a failure on my part, but he is suppressed nonetheless. Just remember, it doesn't have to be pretty, just get the job done and eliminate the target by any means. As I rush up the left flank and proceed to arm the objective, I am killed by an enemy medic with the brain-bursting and annoying weapon called the M60. I now realize that they have several squads protecting the left flank due to being a popular route for many attackers such as myself. I yet again decide to adapt and overcome by hitching a ride with an anti-aircraft tank on the right flank and proceed to arm objective A. This quick sprint transition from immediately hopping out of a vehicle to arming an MCOM is a great strategy for minimizing the time frame in which you can take enemy fire. In short, the shorter distance that you have to run from vehicle to an objective, the better your chances of surviving are. And as you observed, once the charges are set, I back off and blow a hole in the wall next to the objective. This gives me a clear view of the MCOM and also ensures that I can easily suppress any tangos that attempt to disarm it. Having a great vantage point of an objective is an excellent method to ensuring that it explodes without being defused. It is not usually a wise idea to camp in the same building as the MCOM once it is armed, because you will oftentimes be blasted with an explosive such as a frag grenade, 40mm grenade, RPG, or tank shell. The MCOM explodes quickly enough, and I proceed to engage in my usual quarantine tactic of killing spawn campers. This is then followed by my analyzing of the forward area and taking my time when assaulting forward. It is key that you don't rush up extremely quickly, because in doing so you can oftentimes not see enemies just waiting to kill you, such as the overweight medic sitting under the pipes, who I promptly eliminated. I choose the flank left side due to my assumption that the defending team will have many soldiers along the road on the right side, and the left side also has dense vegetation which can easily conceal my flanking maneuver. Trees and vegetation play a key role in assaulting forward without being spotted by enemy forces in bad company. This is seen as I don't see the sniper lurking in the bushes very close to me, and the only reason that I kill him is because he failed to knife me correctly. And as you can see, he is promptly shot in the genitalia area due to his inability to use his combat knife in the proper manner. My location in the back of their spawn is excellent because I'm an incredible spawn point for my teammates that can easily arm Objective A. The method that I do employ once I do eventually reach this two-story building is something that I like to call badgering. This mainly consists of me eliminating enemies in their spawn and also attracting as much attention to myself as possible. Although conventional military wisdom has taught us that the best thing to do is to kill 1 or 2 enemies and change locations, this method works quite well, remaining in the same position. Here I make the decision to arm the objective, but my teammate beats me there, and I proceed to overwatch the objective from this 2-story building. It is extremely effective to overwatch the objective from an elevated area due to the increased cover and advantage over enemies with easier target acquisition and elimination. Another concept that I would like to inform you of is the role of pistols during this particular match. Using your pistol can be a deadly weapon when it's used correctly. Oftentimes enemies kill you when you're reloading and unable to fire back. This problem is solved when you use your pistol. Once your magazine or clip runs out of your primary, using your pistol takes your enemy by surprise due to the expectation of a reload instead of continued fire. This is observed on 2 occasions during my time in this particular building. Personally, I prefer the M9 because it seems to be an effective mix between the MP443 Glock and the M191145 caliber pistol. The hybrid between damage and clip size, having decent damage with a 12-round clip, makes the M9 my favorite sidearm. In just a second, my teammate gets blasted with an RPG, and it is observed that my badgering is becoming more effective. I now realize that the engineer will probably blow away the cover from my building, so I decide to go down to ground level to eliminate him. And he thinks a grenade will be enough to kill me, but I think not, because he gets suppressed after I dodge his frag. One more concept that I wanted to touch on about badgering, it's all about distracting. It is all about doing anything that you can to make the enemies pay more attention and focus on you instead of your teammates so they can arm the MCOM. I continue to do this in my building, mopping up any enemies that appear along the road because I now see that my team is assaulting up the right side. It is also critical that you eliminate enemies that are on useful pieces of weaponry. This includes enemies that are on stationary rockets or shielded heavy machine guns. This will make the assault forward of your teammates that much easier. And as you will see in just a few moments, I come under a heavy sniper and RPG fire from the opposing team. And as weird and backwards as it may sound, that is exactly what I want the enemy team to do. This is a true sign that my badgering is working because I have upwards of 3 enemies paying attention to me, alleviating pressure from my teammates. Eventually, this fire becomes too heavy, so I decide to change locations, which is followed by my elimination of an enemy engineer. I now make the decision to go arm the objective myself, and on the way I do kill 1 more enemy, but eventually I am sniped by an enemy of rank 2. How embarrassing. I then spawn on a squad mate and completely fail, just completely fail with my 40mm shotgun against the first enemy, but I do redeem myself by eventually getting a double kill, on enemies attempting to defuse the MCOM. Now guys, don't stray away from sacrificing yourself to defend an MCOM, and as seen here, it pays off. And although I do die, we do get the final MCOM destroyed, which is in reality all that truly matters. Because if you want to talk about kill to death ratios, go find someone who plays Modern Warfare 2. My playstyle is about achieving the objective, which I complete successfully in this match. My name is TheRussianBadger. Thanks for watching, guys. I will have another commentary for you very soon. But until next time, play the objective, kids.